Welcome everyone, The Deep Dive. Today we are plunging headfirst into a topic that's, well, it's everywhere. It's reshaping our world, challenging how we think, and sparking debates left, right, and center. We're talking about artificial intelligence, AI. Is it this amazing future we've always dreamed of, full of solutions, opportunities? Or is it more like an alarm bell, something signaling maybe a future with risks we haven't even fully grasped yet? Our mission here today, in this deep dive, is really to cut through all the noise, the headlines, the hype, the fear. We're going to explore the sources you've given us, pull out the really vital insights about AI. The goal, give you a shortcut, help you get genuinely informed, understand the nuances, all backed by, actual facts and figures. So let's really try and unpack this. Is AI truly dangerous? Are we talking machines taking over, like in movies? Or is it just fundamentally a technology? A tool meant to help us improve our lives? There's just so much here.
It really is fascinating how the conversation always seems to swing between those extremes, isn't it? One minute, it's boundless optimism. AI will solve climate change, cure cancer. The next, it's existential dread. It'll take all the jobs, maybe even challenge our humanity. What we'll aim for today is connecting those dots, looking across the whole spectrum based firmly on what your sources are telling us. It's just so important to have a balanced view, fact-based, not just jump on the fear bandwagon or the hype train.
Exactly. We need to look at both sides properly. So let's maybe start with one side of that coin. Let's look at the dangers, the concerns around AI, the things that are understandably making people nervous. And probably the biggest, most immediate one people talk about is jobs. Job displacement. We've all seen those headlines. Robots are coming for your job. But what do the big reports actually say? Well, according to a major one from the World Economic Forum, AI and automation, they could displace something like 85 million jobs globally by 2025.
85 million, that's a huge number.
It really is. And we're not talking decades away, we're talking 2025. That's practically tomorrow. It really highlights the potential scale of this shift.
And it's not just factory work or something easily automated, is it?
No, not at all. The source material gives really concrete examples. Think about graphic designers. AI tools can generate images now. Really complex stuff, super fast.
Right. And customer service agents, too. Chatbots are getting incredibly sophisticated.
Exactly. They handle tons of queries now. And it even touches knowledge work journalism, legal services. AI can draft reports, summarize documents, do research at speeds a human just can't match.
And that speed of learning is key, isn't it?
It's mind-blowing. Think about it. A human learns over years, right? Builds expertise. An AI model, you can learn to do some of these things, sometimes even better, in just hours or days, processing vast amounts of data.
So if we connect that to the bigger picture, this isn't just about losing specific jobs here and there. This points towards a really profound reshaping of the entire global labor market.
Right.
Well, it's potentially transformative.
In a disruptive way, potentially.
It could be. It raises this massive question. How do societies even adapt to shifts that are this fast, this widespread? We're not just talking about retraining a few people, it's about education systems, social safety nets, the very idea of work. It's systemic.
Okay, so the economic jolt is one massive area.
Yeah.
Then it gets even more, chilling. This is where we get into autonomous weapons. Legal autonomous weapons.
Yeah.
Laws.
Yes. The killer robots concept.
Pretty much. That sounds like sci-fi,
Yeah.
but it's becoming technically feasible. Systems that can select and engage targets without a human actively making that final call. Life and death decisions made by an algorithm.
Machines making the decision to kill.
And this isn't just a fringe worry. The sources say over 2,000 AI and robotics experts, the people building this stuff, they've called for a ban.
2,000 experts. That tells you something about the level of concern within the field itself.
Absolutely. They're ringing the alarm bell loud and clear. The idea of delegating that ultimate decision, it crosses a fundamental ethical line for many.
And their concerns are very practical too, not just ethical. They worry about escalation. Imagine these weapons reacting in milliseconds, faster than any human could respond or de-escalate.
It could spiral out of control before we even know what's happening.
Precisely. They talk about warfare potentially reaching an unimaginable scale and speed. Beyond human comprehension or control. Some strategists are even calling this the potential third revolution in warfare.
Wow. After gunpowder and the atomic bomb.
That's the comparison being made. It fundamentally changes the rules of engagement, the speed, the potential for catastrophe. And it all comes back to that core ethical point. Can we, should we hand over life and death authority to a machine? What does accountability even look like then?
It's a deeply unsettling question. Okay, so from autonomous weapons, let's shift to something maybe more subtle, but just as worrying in its own way. social control, and the problem of bias baked into AI systems.
Right, this isn't necessarily AI being evil, but reflecting our own flaws.
Exactly. The AI learns from the data we give it. And if that data have human biases, racial, gender, whatever,
Then the AI learns those biases too. It replicates them, sometimes even amplifies them.
it's like a digital mirror, but one that can act on those reflections. Your sources give a really stark example from the US justice system.
The recidivism prediction algorithm.
That's the one. An AI used to estimate the likelihood of criminals reoffending. Sounds useful, maybe, but it was accused of significant bias against black individuals.
Predicting higher risk for them, even with similar backgrounds to white individuals.
Yeah, and think about where else this could apply. Loan applications,
Job candidate screening, access to social services.
predictive policing. If the AI is biased, it can make discriminatory decisions against whole groups of people,
And the really tricky part is often the black box problem.
meaning we don't know why it made the decision.
Often, yes. Especially with complex, deep learning models, the reasoning can be incredibly opaque.
So you might not even know it's being biased, let alone how to fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which raises this huge question. How do we ensure fairness and accountability when the decision-making is hidden? If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights the need for ethics to be baked in from the start. It's not just about fixing bad AI. It's about designing AI that doesn't perpetuate existing societal inequalities. It demands profound ethical consideration at every step.
And beyond those really big ones, the sources also touch on other fears, right?
Right.
Briefly.
Things like privacy erosion.
Right, AI getting better and better at collecting and analyzing our personal data, often without us fully realizing.
Then there's the whole issue of deepfakes and misinformation.
Yeah, AI creating fake videos, audio,
Yeah.
making it harder to know what's real. That's scary for trust, for democracy even.
Definitely. And finally, the sort of ultimate, maybe more distant fear, superintelligence,
Where AI becomes smarter than humans in, well, every way.
which leads to all sorts of philosophical questions about control and humanity's future. And these aren't just, theoretical academic debates. They touch on really tangible things: trust in information, our personal autonomy, what it means to be human in a digital world. Each point raises fundamental challenges.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot on the concerning side. It does feel a bit heavy, but
Yeah.
is the picture really that bleak? Let's pause.
Thankfully, no, it's definitely not all doom and gloom.
Absolutely not. So now let's flip that coin. Let's look at the other side, the bright side. AI as our ally. The incredible potential it has to, well, make things better.
The hope.
Yes, the hope. And let's go right back to that jobs issue. Remember the 85 million displaced?
Hard to forget.
Well, that same World Economic Forum report, it also predicts AI will create, oh wait for it, 97 million new opportunities.
97 million, so more created than lost, according to that forecast.
Exactly, nearly 100 million new kinds of jobs. Roles that honestly didn't even exist 10 years ago.
Like AI specialists, data scientists.
Machine learning engineers, prompt engineers, all these fields are exploding.
So it's less about pure destruction, more about transformation.
Right. It's not just taking away tasks, it's creating entirely new categories of work. Work that often involves collaborating with AI.
So if we connect that to the bigger picture again, it suggests a societal evolution, not just an endpoint. It points towards skill transformation, the rise of new industries, new ways of working together, humans and machines.
Which brings up that question again.
How do education and training adapt? How do we prepare people for these roles? It's about creativity, problem solving, working alongside AI.
It's a huge opportunity, really, to focus human work on what humans do best. Empathy, judgment, innovation.
While letting AI handle maybe the more repetitive, data-heavy stuff, it could elevate work, not just eliminate it.
Okay, so jobs are more nuanced. What about health? This seems like a massive area for AI's potential.
Oh, absolutely. Healthcare is undergoing a quiet revolution because of AI. The potential impact is enormous.
The sources mention a Stanford University study about skin cancer.
Yes, that was remarkable. An AI model trained on images diagnosed skin cancer more accurately than experienced dermatologists.
More accurately than doctors. That's incredible.
It is. Think about what that means for early detection. Saving lives. If that technology can be scaled up,
And it's not just skin cancer, right? It's analyzing X-rays, MRIs.
spotting things the human eye might miss, finding subtle patterns indicative of disease much earlier than previously possible.
And drug discovery, too. Speeding that up.
Massively. AI can analyze vast chemical libraries, predict how molecules might interact, identify promising drug candidates far faster than traditional methods, years faster, potentially.
Having years and billions in development costs.
Exactly. Plus, predicting diseases before they even show symptoms, analyzing genetic data, lifestyle factors.
Moving healthcare from reactive to proactive. That's the dream, isn't it?
It really is. And what's fascinating here is the potential for democratization. Think about countries with doctor shortages or remote areas.
AI could bring expert-level diagnostics to places that never had access before.
Precisely. It can become a means of accessing quality healthcare for millions, potentially billions of people. Scaling expertise. It's about health equity.
That's a truly powerful positive impact. And beyond healthcare, what about pure science?
Yeah.
Pushing the boundaries of knowledge.
Another huge area. AI is becoming an indispensable tool for researchers.
Your sources mentioned DeepMind. That's the Google AI company.
That's right. And their program, AlphaFold.
What did it again? Something about proteins.
It predicted the 3D structure of millions of proteins. This was like a huge mystery in biology, a grand challenge for decades.
Why is the structure so important?
Because a protein's shape determines its function. Understanding the shape is key to understanding how life works and what goes wrong in disease.
So AlphaFold basically solved this massive puzzle.
In large part, yes. It provided structures for hundreds of thousands, now millions, of proteins, something that would have taken researchers centuries using old methods.
Wow. And how does that help practically?
Immensely. It helps us understand diseases, genetic disorders, cancer, infections. If you know the structure, you can design drugs to target it much more effectively.
Like designing a key for a specific lock.
Exactly. It accelerates drug discovery dramatically. And it's not just biology. AI is also crucial for things like climate change modeling.
Creating better models to predict climate impacts.
Yes, analyzing incredibly complex data sets, weather patterns, ocean currents, emissions to build more accurate forecasts and help develop mitigation strategies, better renewable energy grids, things like that.
So it raises that question.
Yeah.
What other huge problems are now solvable because of AI?
Right. Problems we might have thought were impossible before. It's a new era for scientific discovery.
Okay, so healthcare, science, and the economy. We touched on jobs, but what about the overall economic impact?
The potential numbers are, frankly, astronomical.
The PricewaterhouseCoopers report, Greg. What was the figure?
They estimated AI could add $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030.
15.7 trillion.
Trillion, with a T.
How big is that? Put that in perspective for us.
Okay, that's more than the combined current economies of China and India.
Wow, okay. That's transformative on a global scale.
Yeah.
How does AI even do that?
Well, a few ways. Firstly, massive productivity increases across almost every industry. Automation, optimization, better data analysis.
Doing more with less, basically.
Essentially. Secondly, creating entirely new industries and markets, like we talked about with the new jobs, driving innovation.
And thirdly,
Making our daily lives easier, more convenient, more personalized, often in ways we barely notice.
right, it's not just these huge abstract numbers, it's tangible stuff too.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, AI isn't just about moonshots and trillions of dollars, it's already woven into our daily fabric.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Your smartphone assistant, asking Siri or Google Assistant for the weather, setting a reminder, that's AI.
Okay, yeah.
The movie recommendations on Netflix, the song Spotify suggests, tailored perfectly to you.
AI algorithms learning my tastes, sometimes creepily well.
Exactly. Or even just getting traffic updates on Google Maps or Waze. Predicting jams, finding faster routes.
So that's all AI working behind the scenes.
All AI. Analyzing data, making predictions, optimizing things. It's this invisible layer enhancing our everyday existence constantly.
It really is everywhere then. So let me ask you, the listener, directly. Have you used AI today? Maybe searching Google, using an app, streaming music. Chances are, yes, probably multiple times.
It's become so integrated, we often don't even label it as AI anymore. It's just how things work now.
Okay, so we've seen the alarm bells, serious ones. And we've seen the incredible bright side transformative potential, which brings us back to the core question. What's the conclusion? Is AI friend or enemy?
And the answer seems to be, it's complicated.
It really is. The sources use that powerful analogy. Technology itself is like fire.
Right, inherently neutral.
Fire can cook your food, keep you warm, hugely beneficial.
Or it can burn down your house. Devastatingly destructive.
It all depends on how humans use it.
Yeah.
And AI is maybe the most powerful fire we've ever discovered.
Its dangers are real, they're serious, we can't ignore them.
But its benefits are just unparalleled. The potential is immense.
So what truly stands out here is that the future isn't written yet. It's not predetermined.
We get to decide.
We get to decide. Its direction depends on our collective wisdom, our choices, our actions now. We are shaping this future.
Which means we need a plan. We need guardrails. The sources suggest we need basically 3 key things. Pillars for a responsible AI future.
Okay, what's the first pillar?
First, regulation. We need rules. Governments, international bodies, they need to create laws for AI, especially clear boundaries for things like autonomous weapons. That seems non-negotiable for many.
Absolutely, and beyond weapons.
Privacy, data usage, how our information is collected and used by these powerful systems, preventing bias. We need clear lines.
Which raises that tricky question again. How do you regulate something moving this fast?
Yeah, laws take time. AI moves at lightning speed.
Exactly. We need agile, adaptive regulations. The EU's AI Act is a really interesting attempt at this.
Trying to classify AI by risk level.
Right. Higher risk systems get stricter roles. It's trying to build a framework that's flexible, but also prioritizes safety and fundamental rights. It's a major step.
Okay, so regulation is pillar 1. What's number 2?
Transparency and ethics. We need to be able to understand AI decisions.
No more black boxes, especially for important stuff.
Precisely. If an AI denies you a loan, or flags something on a medical scan, or influences a legal decision, you have a right to know why.
It's about accountability, right? Being able to challenge errors or bias.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's all about building trust. Companies can't just bolt on ethics at the end. It needs to be fundamental. Part of the design process from day one.
Thinking about bias in the data, building an oversight, being honest about limitations.
Yes. Ethics by design, not as an afterthought. Without that trust, the positive potential of AI just won't be realized.
Makes sense. Regulation, transparency, and ethics. That was the third pillar.
Maybe the most crucial one, education and awareness.
Preparing ourselves and the next generation.
Yes, we all need to become more AI literate. Understand how it works, what it can do, what it can't do.
It's not just about coding, is it?
Not at all. It's about critical thinking. Being able to tell real information from AI-generated fakes. That's becoming a vital life skill.
In learning how to work with AI, not just fear it.
Exactly. Adapting our skills, focusing on collaboration, seeing it as a tool to augment our own abilities. What's fascinating here is that individual understanding, public awareness, it's just as important as government rules or company policies.
Empowering people with knowledge.
It's our best defense against the risks and our best engine for unlocking the benefits. Our collective ability to learn and adapt is key.
Wow, what a journey today. From those serious alarm bells, jobs, weapons, bias, to the incredible hope in healthcare, science, the economy. It really drives home that this isn't a time for fear, necessarily, but it is a time to be informed, to be cautious, and yeah, maybe a little excited too.
Cautiously optimistic, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. So, thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? How will you engage with this powerful technology, knowing the potential, knowing the pitfalls? How do we all contribute to shaping this future?
Maybe the biggest takeaway, the thought to leave you with, is how AI forces us to look at ourselves. It really makes us define what's uniquely human, our ethics, our creativity, our judgment, our empathy, because ultimately it's through those qualities that will navigate this, that will mitigate the risks, that will build the AI future we actually want to live in, a future where technology serves humanity.
A powerful thought indeed.
Yeah.
We really hope this deep dive has given you a clearer, more balanced perspective on artificial intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep thinking, keep exploring, keep asking questions. Until next time, stay curious.